You know how we often think that we are the center of the universe? Well, this time it's actually true, because everything in the universe is coming from us and going back to us. And even before that, we were already there. So let me explain. This is a brief overview of the Self-Aware Universe theory by Amit Goswami. If you're looking for more videos like this, please hit subscribe. As we begin our exploration of this fascinating theory, it's important to point out that Amit Goswami is not the only one to come up with a self-aware universe. The concept has appeared in different forms throughout history, from ancient mystical traditions to modern quantum physics. However, Goswami's take on it is unique and highly influential in shaping the way we view our existence. So, who is Amit Gupta? Well, he is an Indian theoretical physicist and a spiritual leader known for his work in quantum mechanics and consciousness studies. He was born in Bogra, West Bengal, India on 11th of February 1938. Gupta's academic journey began at the University of Calcutta, where he earned a bachelor's degree in physics in 1956. He then went on to the University of Mumbai to receive his master's degree in 1958. His doctoral studies took him to the prestigious University of Colorado Boulder, where he earned his PhD under the renowned physicist John Wheeler. After completing his doctorate, Goswami joined the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Mumbai as a research scientist. Throughout his career, he held several notable positions, including professor at the S.N. Bose National Center for Basic Sciences in Kolkata, honorary professor at the University of Oregon, and adjunct professor at the University of Delhi. He also served as the director of the Nepal Academy of Science and Technology. His extensive research has been published in numerous books and articles covering topics such as quantum mechanics, consciousness, and the nature of reality. Some of his notable works include The Self-Aware Universe, Physics of the Future, and Beyond the Body. Apart from his scientific contributions, Goswami was also a prominent spiritual leader. He was a disciple of the Neo-Advaita Vedanta movement started by the 20th century Indian philosopher and theologian Swami Ranganathananda. Through his teachings, he emphasized the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of self-realization in achieving true happiness and fulfillment. All right, now that we know who Amit Goswami is and have a better understanding of his background, let's move on to exploring his groundbreaking theory of the self-aware universe. Amit Goswami's theory of the self-aware universe is a radical departure from the traditional materialist view of the cosmos. According to this theory, the universe is not a collection of mindless particles governed by laws of physics. Instead, it is a conscious hologram in which everything is interconnected and interdependent. At the heart of this theory lies the concept of consciousness as the fundamental substance of reality. Goswami argues that consciousness is not a product of the brain, but the very essence from which the brain and the universe arise. He challenges the prevailing notion that the material world is primary and consciousness is secondary. Instead, he proposes that the material world is a manifestation of consciousness and therefore ultimately dependent on it. In order to understand this concept further, let's first explore the idea of a hologram. A hologram is a three-dimensional image that is encoded on a photographic plate. When light is shown through the plate, it reconstructs the image in all its three-dimensional glory. This process involves the interference of light waves, creating an intricate pattern of colors and shapes that ultimately forms the image. Now imagine if the entire universe were a gigantic hologram. Every star, planet, galaxy, and even time and space itself could be nothing but an expression of a vast underlying consciousness. Just as a hologram is projected from a two-dimensional surface into a three-dimensional space, our physical reality could be projected from a non-physical source, which is consciousness. But how does consciousness become the universe? This is where Goswami's ideas about the observer effect come into play. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect refers to the phenomenon in which the very act of observation influences the behavior of subatomic particles. Before being observed, these particles exist in a state of potentiality or a superposition of multiple states, but the moment they are observed, they collapse into a definite state. This suggests that the observer, in this case consciousness, plays an active role in shaping reality. It is not merely a passive recipient of information. Building on this idea, Goswami proposes that consciousness is the ultimate observer, the source from which all things emerge and to which all things return. He calls this the self-aware universe because in this model, the universe is aware of itself. It knows itself. In other words, the universe is conscious. Now that we have an understanding of the key concepts of holograms and the observer effect, let's see how Amit Goswami uses them to build his theory of the self-aware universe. The first step in this process is to challenge the prevailing paradigm of materialism, which holds that everything in the universe is made of matter in motion. Goswami questions this assumption and proposes that matter is not fundamental, but rather a manifestation of consciousness. He then introduces the concept of a holographic universe, suggesting that the vast expanse of space and time is nothing but a projection of an underlying consciousness. In this model, the physical laws that govern the universe, such as gravity, electromagnetism, and nuclear forces, are seen as expressions of this underlying consciousness. They are not separate, independent entities that operate autonomously. To support his theory, Goswami draws upon the principles of quantum mechanics, particularly the observer effect. He argues that consciousness plays an active role in shaping reality, and that the universe as we perceive it is a construct of our collective consciousness. Having laid the foundation, let's now delve into the implications of Goswami's theory. One of the central claims of the self-aware universe theory is that the distinction between subject and object, between the observer and the observed, is ultimately an illusion. According to Goswami, the apparent separation between consciousness and the material world is not real. In fact, everything in the universe, including the observer, is part of a single, unified field of consciousness. This idea challenges the long-standing dualistic view of reality, which posits that there are two fundamental substances, mind and matter, and seeks to bridge the gap between them. By recognizing the illusory nature of this separation, we can realize our true nature as conscious beings and our interconnectedness with all of existence. Another profound implication of the self-aware universe theory is the concept of free will versus determinism. Determinism is the idea that all events are predetermined and that we have no control over our actions or the outcomes of our choices. On the other hand, free will suggests that we have the ability to make decisions and shape our future independently of any external constraints. Goswami's theory offers a unique perspective on this age-old debate. He proposes that while the universe may appear to be deterministic at the physical level, there is an element of free will embedded within the observer effect. Our conscious choices and intentions can influence the outcome of events and create new possibilities. This perspective suggests that we are not merely passive bystanders in the unfolding drama of life, but active participants capable of shaping our own destinies. The self-aware universe theory also has significant implications for our understanding of death and the afterlife. According to Goswami, death is not the end of our existence, but a transition to another state of being. He believes that consciousness is eternal and continues to exist even after the physical body dies. This idea challenges conventional views of death as a final and irreversible process and opens up the possibility of an afterlife or a state of consciousness that transcends the limitations of our current physical form. It is important to note that while Goswami's theory offers a compelling perspective on these profound questions, it is not without its critics. Some argue that his ideas are too speculative and lack empirical evidence. Others contend that his approach to consciousness is not sufficiently scientific. However, despite these criticisms, the self-aware universe theory remains a significant contribution to our understanding of reality. It encourages us to question the limitations of our current paradigms and to explore the deeper mysteries of consciousness and existence. Before we wrap up this exploration of Amit Gupta's SelfAware Universe, let's consider its broader significance and the impact it has had on various fields of study. One of the most significant contributions of this theory is the shift in perspective it offers. It challenges the traditional view of the universe as a collection of mindless particles governed by laws of physics and instead emphasizes the fundamental role of consciousness in shaping reality. This perspective has resonated with many and has inspired further research into the mind-matter relationship and the nature of consciousness itself. Moreover, the self-aware universe theory has influenced the fields of quantum physics and cosmology. It has contributed to the development of ideas such as the observer effect and the participatory universe, which highlight the importance of consciousness in the interpretation of quantum mechanics. Furthermore, it has sparked interest in exploring the possible holographic nature of reality, leading to advancements in our understanding of black holes, the Big Bang, and the structure of space-time itself. Despite its far-reaching influence, the self-aware universe theory is not without its limitations. Critics argue that some of its concepts are too speculative and lack empirical evidence. They contend that the theory relies heavily on philosophical speculation rather than on rigorous scientific methodology. Additionally, the theory's emphasis on consciousness as a fundamental substance has been criticized as being unscientific and difficult to test empirically. However, despite these limitations, the self-aware universe theory remains a significant contribution to our understanding of reality. It has opened up new avenues of research, challenged conventional paradigms, and inspired a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the cosmos, the ideas put forth by Amit Goswami serve as a reminder of the profound questions that have always captivated humanity. What is the nature of consciousness? How does the observer effect shape reality? And what is the ultimate fate of the universe? While we may never have all the answers, the pursuit of knowledge and understanding will continue to drive our curiosity and inspire new discoveries.